Welcome back to Conversations with Chris
and Crystal and
Rocco.
Rocco's still with us here visiting. And today we were looking at, for August, the month of August is Happiness Happens. And happiness for Rocco happens when his mom comes back. She goes through the front door, and I can't even open the front door without him having an absolute conniption because he's convinced she's still there and that she's going to come walking in. And so I can't use the front door.
He misses his mama.
He does miss his mom. Yeah.
And for us, happiness happens when anything to do with animals. We love animals.
Yeah, we do. We really, really do. They really do make you feel happy. They do funny things and, you know, some of their little tricks and things like that. Yeah, it is kind of fun. It's a fun time.
We'd also like to know what makes you happy. Please tell us in the comments or drop us a little note at our email address.
Yeah, down below. And then a happiness for me, I like getting my hair done, which I can see I need to get my hair done again. Yeah.
And I think both of us enjoy decluttering. Makes us happy.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that just lifts such a weight off your shoulders, and it does make you feel really good when you can declutter or get rid of a lot of stuff and live in with a minimalist attitude. Yeah, we probably should talk about that one of these days too, real soon. The minimalist lifestyle. Yeah.
Another thing that makes me happy is, well, when I was teaching, was when the kids would give me a little note of, like, saying how much they appreciated me or anything like that, and it would bring a tear to my eye.
Yeah, I send emojis to my husband when he gets to work, and he sends them back, and yeah, and that does make me feel good and happy. And what else do we do that makes us feel happy? You know, I miss being in Minnesota because I actually used to drive to the lake and just hang out by the lake and, you know, the waves coming. Nature
makes me happy.
Absolutely. Just being out in nature makes you happy, but not in 115-degree heat. It's just not the same.
Not unless you're sitting in a cold pool.
Yeah, and that's only if you get a cold pool because those
a lot of times they're warm. Yeah.
They're like bath water with the 115, 120-degree heat. Yeah, it's not quite the same, but it does make you happy because then when you get out, if there's a little breeze, you do feel cooler, and it does help with that excessive heat. What else?
When your makeup turns out right, that makes you happy.
Boy, I haven't been happy for a long time now. I just can't get it to turn out the way I wanted to. But I'll keep working on that. Yeah, but you're right. That is fun.
Obviously, yellow makes me happy.
Oh, yes. That's a big one for her. Yeah, absolutely. And good hair days.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, always will make you happy. What else? What else do we know about happy?
Ice cream.
Me.
Not you?
Not me. No, not an ice cream. I don't know where I missed that. I just did. I'm not a big ice cream fan.
I guess it's just, it makes me think of summertime and, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Relaxation and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay, happiness. I do say that I do emotionally eat. I have emotional eating, so I'm sure there's something there in that emotional eating that makes me happy.
I was looking at some stuff that I'd written a while back, like years ago, and one of them was, life sucks, so you might as well eat.
There you go, yeah. And what else makes us happy? I think it's really nice when somebody thinks of you and considers, you know, your feelings or your thoughts without you soliciting it. That was always a big deal for me. You know, that's a hard one for men because they can't read your mind. And it amazes me how many women think they should be able to read your mind. And I think I went through that phase when I was in my 20s. You know, why don't they know what I want? You know, I'm a woman. Yeah. Hello. And it doesn't work that way.
Part of it, I think, is because women are more observant than men. So
yeah, that's true.
We'll hear a guy say something like, oh, you know, one of these days I'd like to get a such and such. And we're like, ding, 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 gift idea.
Yeah.
And we'll do that. And then we'll say something like that. Like, oh, man, I hope someday I can get such and such. And then we're thinking, oh, he's going to get it for me. They don't pay
No.
attention. They don't
No,
know.
they don't. I went out of town last month. My dad is in the hospital, but he's doing much better. And I was running back and forth an hour and a half each way to the hospital. And so this is my favorite story of that. So I left Jeff at home by himself, and he was functioning pretty well. He was calling me, what's how do you sign on to this? How do you do that? And I would text it to him, and he was, okay, yeah, and he took care of it. And he was doing well, and we got late at the hospital one day, and it was an hour and a half home, and there's a lot of deer along the road. And I think we'd see 4 or 5 every time we drove. And so I was driving, I called my girlfriend, I called Jeff, I said, I'm just kind of worried that we're going to get in the dark here, and it's kind of scary with the deer and all that kind of stuff. And they said, okay, well, call us when you get home. And Jeff said, call me when you get home. And we got to the car, we got in, and Jeff texted me, and he said, call me when you get home. I think we just said that, but okay. And I thought, okay, 1, he's got a question. 2, he's actually worried. I'm not entirely sure. So I get home, and I texted my girlfriend, and then I called him, and I remember standing in the living room going, we got home, we're okay. And there's this long pause, because he missed the whole point. I mean, he didn't even get why I was calling him. And then he said, well, I remembered what my question was that I had to ask you. Where do you buy my deodorant? I can't say I didn't try.
Pressing question that absolutely had to be answered that night.
That night, yeah. It was like, okay, well, I'm glad you're okay with that.
And glad you're smelling nice.
Yes, that, it's, taking care of my dad, taking care of his wife, taking care of Jeff via the phone. It was a lot of work, Mm-hmm. It's good to be needed, but yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to do. But anyway, so happiness will be when he can get better and walk out of there on his own power.
And
What else makes you happy?
well, good things that make you laugh. I want to say good jokes,
yeah.
but it's not always jokes. It could be situations that make you laugh.
Yeah.
Like, here's one that I like to remember.
Uh-huh.
One time, my neighborhood is kind of sketchy. And, I don't want to say it's bad, but our idea of a block party is watching the police throw flashbangs into a house that might be a drug dealer's house.
Oh dear. Okay.
So
okay.
one time my mom came to pick me up to go shopping, and as we were leaving, she says, that's odd. We're getting out onto the main street, and she goes, when I was in your driveway, it was like 112 degrees, and now it says it's 110. And I said, well, we're closer to hell there. So, things like that amuse me.
Yes. Well, and you're right. That how do you make yourself happy? You think like this thing with Jeff. That's the funniest thing I think that happened while I was gone. Because there were a lot of serious things going on, and he was so far removed from it. And so yeah, you just have to laugh. Sometimes you just have to laugh at some of the crazy things that go on. And when I was with Dad, and his left side was weak. He had a brain bleed. His left side was weak, and he was so upset with that hand not being able to do what he wanted it to do. And they started working with him, and I was amazed how they would show him how to do something. It was like the brain connected and said, oh,
I remember now.
I remember how to do that. And the next day he'd be doing it. I was like, to me, physical therapy is something you got to work on for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You got to get the muscles to work again. You got to do it. But it was really a matter of the brain just remembering back and going, oh, no, I know how to do that. I can do that. And it would do that. And I got him to the point where he was eating a sandwich with both hands. And he, there was one morning they wanted him to do this. And he kind of got it, I guess, in the morning. And then by the afternoon, he kind of had it still open a little bit. And then 2 hours later at dinner, he was sitting there and he looked at me and he goes, you see, you got it. And that's exactly, I told him, I just feel like it's going to move so quickly if he just keeps clicking with it. And keeps flipping that switch and just saying, yeah, it knows. So that's makes you happy.
And a lot of times it is the little things that make you happy.
It is a lot of little, those little things, and
Like
try to be observant of them.
Finding the perfect parking spot open
Yes,
and
yes.
ready for you to pull in. Going shopping for a specific thing and finding it immediately.
Yes. I'm not a good shopper. I'm a terrible shopper. You go in, it better be there. I have to get out.
Oh, I hate when you saw it there before and didn't get it, and then you come back and it's nowhere to be found, and you go to another
That's the worst.
store, another branch of the store, and it's not there either, and it's just like, ugh.
I know it. How could I have not seen that?
Yeah.
Why did I not know that? I know it really it is. And actually I tried it years ago. My mom was a shopper, and I swear the whole world would jump to put up for that they had sales. Sale signs jumped up immediately when my mother walked in the door. I never happened with me. Never got there during a sale. But she would go every week and shop. It's a shopping thing. And that's where you go and you see, oh, look at these nice things, and they'll go on sale. So we'll come back next week and and oh, look at this and look at that. And I'm like, how do they do that?
Yeah, because when I see something, and I'm always afraid it's not gonna be there when it's on sale. I got to get it now.
I know. That's it. I think they count on you.
I know.
Doing that. I know.
I'm a sucker that way.
I know. It just amazes me, these people that can do that though, and just shop and look at everything, and and unfortunately, I believe, I don't know if it's true for you, but I feel like they when they shop, they buy more than they need to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
Well,
I'll take one of those.
Yeah.
I'll take one of those.
And another thing, when things are on sale, they don't care what it is. It's on sale, so I'm going to get it.
That's a big thing.
But that's something to be aware of too, especially with the decluttering that you want to do.
Yes.
Don't get it just because it's on sale.
Right. For the sake of a sale. Yeah, that's a really big deal. That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, like, for instance, a nose hair clipper. Well, neither one of us is going to use a nose hair clipper, so why would you buy it just because it's on sale?
Because it's on sale. Yeah, and they might need something like that. It was weird, going with my stepmom to Walmart, to the grocery store, to buy cat food and cat litter and cat kibble. Okay. And she bought just about everything else too, because it's therapeutic to do shopping if you're good at shopping. It's actually therapeutic. It actually makes you feel relaxed.
And it can be good exercise to walk through all these stores and things. But yeah, you don't need to buy everything.
But I'm just trying to understand how, in watching that, how people get themselves in trouble with all the stuff that they're buying. Because it's therapeutic, and yet now you're untherapeutic.
I watched a hoarding show, where this woman, she would buy all these food items, and they went through and they told her, "Look, see, this expired 2 years ago. Yeah. We got to throw all this out."
And so, because it's a thing, it's a brain
mental state
fog thing, yeah. Because that's what they have trouble with, people who are those major hoarders, who are just you can barely find them in there.
Like one guy said, he saved all the newspapers for years. Yeah. And his reasoning was because his mom did the same thing, because to her it was history, and you can't throw away history. That's terrible.
Interesting.
And so that's why he kept it all. But it's like, there's going to be copies somewhere. You don't have to be the one that saves it.
Right. Well, just like the instructions for any appliances or anything that you purchase, they're all online now, so you don't need to keep those instructions.
Yeah, I just went through my warranties and receipts and things last night, and I was like, man, I got rid of this thing 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's it. Throw that out. Yeah, absolutely. And so that makes you happy, like you said. It just makes you happy to clean things out and have things be organized. And I don't even know so much that they have to be organized, just that you don't have all the extra stuff.
Oh, but I love to organize too.
I do too. Except I've decided I don't want to organize other people anymore. No.
Because it doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
They complain that they don't know where anything is. They don't want to learn where to find it. Yeah. They just want it back in the mess on their desk.
Yeah. One of my favorite ones was I think I organized her 4 different times, and I got to that again, and I said, you know what, I really can't do this, because she would call me at night. Where is it? Now I have everything labeled. All of the CDs are together, all the pens are together, all the paper clips are together, and it's all labeled. And she had beautiful rolling shelves, just beautiful stuff. And she couldn't find anything because her favorite pen used to be in with the CDs. So now why is it separate?
Because pens don't belong to CDs.
I know, but in her mind, she sees the CDs and the pen is there. And now it's not, so where'd you put it?
Sometimes I find myself in a similar trap because, in fact, recently, I have no idea where I put my nameplate from my last school, because I remember yesterday I was looking at it and I said, okay, I need to put this with that stuff from that school.
Right, okay.
And I have no idea where it is because it's not with the stuff from the school. So I have like this memory blank from between saying that and wherever I put it.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
But I was like, it's no big deal. It's just
brain fog or whatever. But yes, so what else makes us happy?
Music.
Music always works because that brings back all the good memories. Brings back some of the bad memories too. But we were young and dumb at one time in our lives, and so be it. And but it still is a reminder of things, of what you were doing at the time and what was going on. Back when we didn't have to worry about bills and we didn't have to worry about...
I think of that sometimes. Like, I wish I could be a kid again. Because when you're a kid, it's like, the teen angst. You're like, my life is horrible. I hate my life. I can't wait until I grow up and can make money and buy whatever I want.
Yeah, and do everything my own way, and it never works that way.
Well, even if it does, you still have all the responsibilities that come along with it.
Yes.
It's like, I want to go back to where my mom and dad took care of me. And
yes.
All I have to do is exist.
Yes, yeah, whatever that is, I mean, but it really, it does make you happy. It does have good vibrations, literally and figuratively. And here we're just petting the dog to pieces here, both of us.
And petting an animal can lower your blood pressure, too.
Yes.
And give you happiness.
Yes, makes you feel happy. And he's just thrilled out of his mind that he could do that for us.
He lays there like half asleep.
Yeah. You want to see? See, people can be happy just looking at you because you're just a cutie little thing. You know what? You look like an Ewok.
Yeah.
Out of Star Wars. Look at him roll his eyes.
He gave me the stink eye.
Yeah.
Like, I should be pinching my cheek.
You two are so... that's all you do is talk, isn't it? That's what you look at us sometimes like, could you guys just be quiet? Stop talking. Some of us are trying to rest.
I don't think we can stop talking.
I don't think so. No. So, I think that's all we have for Happiness Happens, and I think we might want to pull one of those again because I think that's a great topic.
Yeah, it's a great
I love that, and we'd love to hear from you, and we can share it with others. How you doing? And
in the meantime,
are you happy? Yeah.
Remember,
take care of yourself because nobody else will. Have you got that? Okay.
Bye.
Bye.